Hi, dear Toastmasters, guests, and friends. Welcome to in-person Open Heart with District 31. I have with me my wonderful friend, distinguished Toastmaster Judy, proud member of Minuteman Toastmasters Club. Toastmaster Judy, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing well. Thank you.
Toastmaster Judy, I'd like to ask your Toastmasters journey. Where did it start? How did it start? Would you like to share something with our audience?
It started for me back in 1996. I had known about Toastmasters earlier from my father, and two of my brothers became Toastmasters, so we did learn in my family. But it wasn't until 96 that I acted really upon it to go to a meeting. I saw in the Boston Globe at that time in print, back when we read newspapers so much more, one Sunday, in the Metro West part of the newspaper, of that great big Sunday edition, was an ad saying at a hall in Waltham, Massachusetts, we were going to have Toastmaster meetings regularly. So I brought myself to one, very, very nervous, but I just made it over the hump and got there because a certain lady, Margarita, who was originally an officer at the time I joined her, she put that ad out there. That's what brought me in.
Thank you, Toastmaster Judy, for sharing that. There's a reason why you joined Toastmasters, but there would be a reason what keeps you at Toastmasters. Would you like to share that with our audience?
Especially in the workplace. When I worked for Massachusetts Institute of Technology as an office worker for many years, I was experiencing meeting so many good speakers. I was quite nervous to be at meetings, especially in a support staff organization. I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to put my hand up and speak and say my piece. But I was always so nervous and thought, oh, this just isn't going to sound well. What are people going to think? I'm not a good speaker. But I so much wanted to be that I got over the fear by going to Toastmasters and tried to be so much like those speakers. Keep it calm, think about what you were about to say, and really get it done. I was very determined.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Judy, for sharing that. Now, I'd like to shift gears and ask this question: is the impact of Toastmasters on your personal life, professional life, social life, spiritual life? Would you like to talk about that?
I think it really helped in so many areas of life, even with my family, trying to ask them more questions, interacting with them, with friends that become even closer friends, have better relationships, because you just learn some great ways to speak and to really think fully. What do you want to know about that person or your coworkers? I'm retired at this time in my life, but while I worked for so many years, it was always coming up, how could I do somewhat better? Getting over the fast heartbeat and nervousness, I would call it the fear of public speaking, was big. It did help family, with friends, with coworkers, and then within the organization, you do get better.
Thank you for sharing that, distinguished Toastmaster Judy. For the audience watching our talk show, what would you say one or two reasons why should they consider Toastmasters?
I think a main fear for many people that join Toastmasters, I would say a big majority, except for two people I've ever heard say, I really didn't have that fear. I think that is one thing to conquer. I think it will help you write better while you prepare your speeches. Think before you speak, which will be big. I think it will help you get promotions in your workplace, in your career. I think it will help big time in your job. Even when you go to your church, your temple, if you go to some kind of organization work, and now I volunteer in three things as a retiree, one of them being Toastmasters, it helps you in all those areas. It is not going to stop helping you and just be meant for one segment of your life.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Judy, for sharing that. Now we enter the rapid fire round. Are you ready for some fun?
I am ready.
Toastmaster Judy, a historic leader that inspires you a lot. Any leader that comes to your mind?
Wow. That is a tough one. I know an awful lot of people choose, I think would choose Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who was one of the most inspiring ever. Someone in history, he comes to mind so fully because during part of my life, he was out there at civil rights marches, and I see that in the news. I see he spoke and traveled around and was so sincere in a cause to fully help people in this country. And I think it affected everyone, where even kids know that name and know that leader. But I think in my personal life, I still see it as a historical figure for me. Is really my father because he was really a comedian. He helped troops when he was in the army way back and served during the time of World War II. He was such a good master of ceremonies and great speaker. So I must include him. Bill is in there.
Thank you, Toastmaster Judy, for sharing that. Now, coming to a speech that is very close to your heart, any historic speech that is very close to your heart?
Oh, wow. The I Have a Dream has got to be right up there by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. There's no question about it. Very emotional, inspiring, powerful type of speech. But I think rather than just looking at that one speech, I can say many, many Toastmasters in different clubs, conferences, speech contests, all of that is staying in my mind, and some are just unforgettable with their amount of inspiration.
Thank you for sharing that. A great choice, Toastmaster Judy. Your personal speech, when you've written it, when you've delivered it, you felt that you did the greatest job. Any speech that comes to your mind?
Wow, no one speech coming right to mind, but I will say there was one where I discussed my whole career and a lot about my life. Might have been seen as almost a memoir of sorts. So I can say maybe that one does stand out a little bit above some others. And I'm still working to get the best speech out there.
Thank you, Toastmaster Judy. A food recommendation that you like to share with our District
Oh,
31.
wow. When I was growing up, even though I was part of a big Jewish family, I don't think any of my own ethnic food was my favorite, but I will say we were lovers of Italian dishes. So when it came to Italian cuisine, one of my favorite things would be to have some very well prepared baked eggplant parmesan. Maybe that could be the top one I might like to order.
Amazing choice, Toastmaster Judy. A book recommendation that you like to recommend to our Toastmasters.
Oh, I have had two very recent books in my day come right to mind. I read a book by Kara Goldin, who is the entrepreneur author of a book about Hint. Hint is that natural beverage that she got into the store shelves, which is a very difficult job. Hint is a water bottled, infused with fruit, and we are saying real fruit. It is a wonderful, refreshing drink. Very difficult life she has had during her adult life to get this done as a business person while being a mother, while being a wife, while having full time work every day and just making that happen, making that be her job. So I read that recently. It really tells about some of her life and the difficulty getting a product out there and being a great entrepreneur. So I admire that one.
Thank you for sharing that, Toastmaster Judy. Anything else that I have not yet asked that you like to share with our district?
I would say if you can listen to your Toastmasters when they recommend a book, I want you to take note of it. Maybe write it down the old fashioned way because you don't want to forget those great recommendations. If they tell you you have got to listen to this piece of music, there's a reason they are so fully passionate about saying that. So I would say listen to your fellow Toastmasters and we exchange so often many recommendations for everything, even the best food or best restaurant out there in your area.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Judy. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you choose to come down and talk to us. So thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Dear Toastmasters, this was Open Heart with District 31. If you like our talk show, please do like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Have a wonderful day. We are enjoying CLCon 2023. Talk to you soon on another episode. Until then, bye bye.